Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Texarkana, Texas City Council. Today is Monday, March the 25th, 2024. I would like to welcome all of you who are joining us in the audience this evening, as well as those who are joining us online. It's been a very, very wet day in Texarkana, but it's good to see the sun out this evening, so a day certainly full of rain. At this time, I'll call on our City Secretary, Ms. Jennifer Evans, to provide a roll call. Ms. Evans?
Ms. Hart? Here. Mr. Davis?
Here.
Ms. Page?
Here.
Ms. Williams? Ms. Matlock?
Here.
Mr. Metter?
Here. Councilmember Williams is not able to be with us this evening, so with that, I will be voting on matters that come before the council this evening, and our invocation and pledge will be led by Councilmember Jean Matlock. If everyone will please stand.
Please. Heavenly Father, I come to you today with a grateful heart, thanking you, Lord, for your grace and mercy that you've shown every day. Lord, we'd ask that you be with the council today. Help us to make wise decisions, those that will be pleasing in your eyesight. We ask that you bless the city of Texarkana. And thank you for all you've done for us so far, and we hope that you will continue to shower your blessings on us. These and all of the blessings I ask in your darling Son, Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you very much. You may be seated. Next on the agenda, we have a proclamation presentation that pertains to Financial Literacy Month, and so I am going to read the proclamation, and then after I read it, Councilmember Davis is going to meet me down front for a photo op, and then Councilmember Davis will accept this proclamation on behalf of Texas A&M University Texarkana, who is Mr. Davis's employer. So the proclamation reads as follows. Whereas a strong financial foundation is essential for a secure and prosperous future for individuals and families, and whereas financial literacy empowers individuals to make informed decisions about saving, investing, managing debt, and planning for retirement, and whereas the United States recognizes April as National Financial Literacy Month, a time to raise awareness about the importance of financial education, and whereas the Center for Financial Literacy and Investment at Texas A&M University Texarkana is dedicated to providing educational resources and workshops to our community on critical financial topics. And whereas the Center for Financial Literacy and Investment will be offering a comprehensive series of workshops throughout the month of April, covering budgeting, debt reduction, credit management, taxes, investments, and other essential financial skills open to students, staff, faculty, and all members of the Texarkana community. Now, therefore, I, Bob Brugman, Mayor of Texarkana, Texas, do hereby proclaim April 2024 as Financial Literacy Month and encourage all residents to take advantage of the valuable financial education resources available this month, including the workshops offered by the Center for Financial Literacy and Investment at Texas A&M University Texarkana, and by being equipped with financial knowledge and skills, we can build a stronger financial future for ourselves and our families. In witness whereof I have unto here set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Texarkana, Texas to be affixed this 25th day of March 2024. And I have signed the proclamation. It has been attested by Jennifer Evans, TRMC City Secretary for the City of Texarkana, Texas, and the city seal has also been affixed to the proclamation. So, Councilmember Davis, if you'll please join me down front, I'll present this to you formally.
Thank you, sir.
Very good. Thank you, sir. All right. And Mr. Davis, I'll just call on you. Do you have anything else you would like to add in reference to the proclamation or activities coming up?
Well, just super excited about what is going on with Financial Literacy Month and just glad to be able to increase some awareness out there. But we're going to have events on most Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2 on various topics, and we definitely want to invite the public out on April 30th. We're going to have a wellness expo that actually the city is also a partner in, and this expo is dealing in wellness, but it's not just health wellness, mental wellness, financial wellness. It's every wellness you can think of. So just invite the public to seek out those opportunities to increase their financial wellness, and all types of wellnesses out there.
Okay, well, very good. We certainly appreciate your work in this particular area. It's a very important area for our community as far as budgeting and other financial means, and so we're very grateful to have these services provided in our community. This time we'll go along with, begin with mayor's remarks and items of community interest. I do have just a couple of items to share this evening. First of all, I want to let everyone aware that our T-Line bus system, which provides our bus service to the cities of Texarkana, Texas, Texarkana, Arkansas, Nash, and Wake Village, quite some time ago, the Saturday route schedule was discontinued or suspended. If I remember correctly, it may have been tied into COVID. And so I'm very pleased to announce that the T-Line bus system will reconvene Saturday bus service to our citizens beginning on Saturday, April the 6th. So that's coming up very soon. So we will have bus service available on Saturdays once again. You can certainly call the T-Line main office, terminal office, or log on to the website perhaps to look for more information pertaining to that. So Miss Kristen Peoples and Dusty Hensley and I represent the city of Texarkana, Texas on the Urban Transit Board, and so we're very pleased to provide this information to you. Also want to share with you, as most of you have probably read in the newspaper and various other media reports, one of our Texarkana, Texas police officers was involved in an encounter last Friday evening in reference to being attacked by two dogs in one of our neighborhood areas in the city. He was transported to Wadley Regional Medical Center for care, which resulted in having to have surgery done. And I responded and went to the ER Friday evening to check on Officer Flores. And I just want to share with the community that the emergency room personnel at Wadley did an outstanding job caring for Officer Flores in his needs as far as helping him to take care of the wounds that he sustained in that very, very dangerous and tragic encounter. He is doing well, and so we're certainly wanting to keep Officer Flores and his family, his wife and family in our prayers, and hope that he has a speedy recovery. So we're just very fortunate that he was able to have a successful surgery and will continue to be monitored. So once again, please keep Officer Flores and his family in your thoughts and prayers. In reference to our upcoming city council meetings, just as a reminder, we will only have one council meeting during the month of April. The celebration activities will be taking place on April the 8th, which is our regularly scheduled council meeting date. And so in April, we'll only be meeting on Monday, April the 22nd at 6 p.m. And then following that, we'll have our May meeting, Monday, May the 13th will be, do we have two meetings in May or just one? Just one. Okay, so we have one meeting in May as well. So just keep that in mind. In reference to Parks and Recreation activities, on March the 30th and 31st, the NCS baseball tournament will take place at Spring Lake Park at the Swanger Complex. April the 13th and 14th, the NCS softball tournament will take place at Grady T. Wallace Park. And April the 19th and 20th, the Dixie Woodbat baseball tournament will take place at Spring Lake Park at Swanger Complex. Additional Parks and Recreation information can be found on the city's website. And also want to mention that the Perot Theater events, we have an event coming up on March the 26th at 7 p.m. It's entitled Janet's Planet, which is a tour of the solar system presented by Track. Tickets are available at perottheater.org. April the 6th at 7 p.m., the Texarkana Symphony Orchestra presents The Dark Side of the Moon. This is the music of Pink Floyd, and once again, that's on April the 6th. Celebration Two States Total Eclipse activities will be taking place on April the 5th through the 8th. And for a list of programs, activities, and events, please visit celebrationtxk.com. Total Eclipse Day will take place on April the 8th at 1 p.m. There will be live music from Emerald City, south of the downtown U.S. Federal Post Office Courthouse on State Line Avenue. Also, the TAMUT Big Event, which is an annual event that's held with the students and staff and faculty at A&M Texarkana, will be held on Saturday, April the 13th. It'll be a day of community service, projects from 8 a.m. until 12 noon. Neighborhood and citywide projects can be submitted to Vachille.Fernandez@texarkanatexas.gov for additional information. And I've had the chance to participate in this activity over the years, and this group does great work in the community as far as their day of community service. So if you're like to get out and about and enjoy doing certain things, picking up trash, painting, things like that, assembling different things, there will be some opportunities for you to participate in that. At this time, we'll move along to our open forum, comments from the public. If there's anyone in the audience this evening who would like to address the council, you will have up to 5 minutes to speak on any topic. If you are here, however, to speak on behalf of one of our public hearing items, we ask that you please wait until we get to that public hearing item. We'll be more than happy to listen to your comments at that time. We do ask that you also complete one of these yellow sheets that can be found on the rack by the door. And we have one sheet that's been filled out, and it's from Mr. John Tricky, Mr. John Tricky, and he would like to share with the council this evening information pertaining to Play TXK. So, Mr. Tricky, we're glad to have you with us this evening.
Yes, sir.
And,
Thank you. Do I address from this?
Yes, sir. From the podium there, if you will, please stand behind the microphone there so
Yes,
we
sir.
can hear you. Yes, sir.
Thank
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to address the council this evening. I'm from the leadership class of Texarkana for 2024, and our objective is to add density to our parks and rec spaces with outdoor games to create more opportunities for being outdoors with your friends and family and having an organized game. So one of the opportunities that we thought was a good fit for Texarkana was horseshoes. It's a low-cost option. And we're looking at the Spring Lake Park location. This is one of the pavilions here. You can see this circle here. The yellow spots are where we think 2 horseshoe pits might go. This red planned area is already a Parks and Rec planned addition. And so we'd be adding density to this area with another set of games. And what we've looked at, we've costed out made in the USA products here in the local region, and what we have are these are the bases, and so these have to be sunk a certain amount beneath the surface and then anchored with 2 stakes, and then a post is driven through them, and then you build the pit around it. And so this is the base plate for the product. This is the owner operator. And this is all handmade. So what we're looking at is a fairly reasonable product that's available on the open market, and we want to piggyback on existing Parks and Rec locations and add to those locations so that we have a greater density of games. So if you have, we know the city is putting in permanent cornhole pits, and so we would add on either horseshoe pits as well, and possibly also like permanent ping pong tables where you bring your paddles and your balls, and you've got the nice surfaced outdoor. These are all outdoor games, right? So they're rated for many years to come, and the idea is to make sure that if you've got one set of games, when you show up to the party and you're there with your crew, if that's taken up, you can go use another one, right, until it rotates off. That is what we've got so far. This is the product that we're looking at, and we have the funding for the actual product. What we would need to do is work in conjunction with the city and make sure that we find the right site and get it installed in the way the city needs, and make sure everything is on board. But that's the idea, is to keep building out those games options for the folks who want to come and hang out in the park with their family.
Very good. So is this the Leadership Texarkana's, is this your class project for this year?
This is our class project, and
Okay.
you may see a number of our groups come in front of you with ideas, but this is our idea, Play TXK.
Okay, very good. We certainly, anything else you'd like to share?
I know that we costed out the ping pong table as well. I'm supposed to pitch that and tell the city that that was a project that we thought would really fly, but with our funding levels, we couldn't get there. And so the more of those options you add to these spaces, the more you can facilitate more and more groups at once, where, you know, people are rotating in and out of games. And if you just have one set there, that's one thing. But if you have a range of options, that's what allows multiple groups to be in the same place at the same time. That's what we thought was a good idea.
Okay, all right, very good. Sounds like a great idea, so we appreciate you all doing that for us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Have a good evening,
Is there a
sir.
buzzer I hit here? I'd like to.
No,
you know,
I'll just stop and reset, so.
Thank you.
There we go. All right, thank you, Mr. Trickey.
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone else who would like to address the audience? Ms. Evans, do you have a sheet? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I have Sally Moore. She wants to talk to the council about city streets, roads, and parks.
Okay, all right, Ms. Moore, if you'll please come forward. All right. And if you don't mind, if you'll please state your name for the record.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sally Moore. I'm a resident here in Texarkana, Texas. The reason for me to attend this meeting tonight is to talk about the streets. You know, I've been living back in Texarkana for 17 years, and in the same neighborhood, I have called the city numerous times to fix different roads and streets. For instance, Old Boston Road, Oak Hill, Wade Lane, and Franklin, the roads are very bad there. I can call, it's getting patched. When it rains, it's gone. This has been going on for the last 17 years. But Belt Road have been repaired, but no other residents' street have been prepared. And for 17 years, I don't think this is good for the area for us to continue to ride on Bumpy Road, you know, and on Old Boston Road. And I guess maybe a city person probably was riding behind me. I don't know. It used to be a hump on Old Boston Road, and I literally stopped to slow down to go over it. Well, within a day or two later, that bump was gone out of the road, but yet still the roads are not being prepared like they should be. I feel if we're paying our money to have these things done, I mean, that's what the tax dollars is for, is to take care of the neighborhood and do the upkeep of the roads and street. And on that note, I also want to talk about the parks. We got Beverly Park. Went to an event here not too long ago, and we also have an event coming up on May the 18th for the first annual walk for domestic violence and abuse. But the thing is about that parking, the drive is pitiful. There are so many potholes that you cannot even drive down that little road. You're having to drive on the grass. And I mean, what purpose do those parks get tossed to the side because of the neighborhood or just no care? And another park is Finley Park. Those parks are being overlooked, and with the equipment that's there, it's hardly nothing there, just the little small things. I mean, there's also children in these neighborhoods as well as Spring Lake Park, Greater T. Wallace. I feel that these things need to be addressed for the events that's taking place and for people that live in that neighborhood that cannot get to Spring Lake Park nor to Greater T. Wallace. You have children right there in these neighborhoods and family that can't get to those areas and would like to be out at the park to hang out, but then you can't even do that because, I mean, it is like just simply that bad out there. Basketball courts used to be nice back in the days where nets were replaced and not looking just totally bad. And my thing is this right here. I even spoke to you a while back, Mayor, about the roads in the areas as well. Next thing I know is patchwork. How much longer are we going to continue to patch the road and it's still costing? just to come out and patch instead of just fixing the whole entire road. They need prepared. And I'm quite sure it's more than just the ones that I'm naming, but these I can truly say because I've been going up and down these roads for 17 years. And it's all I have to say at this time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Moore. Appreciate your time this evening. Is there anyone else who'd like to address the council this evening? Okay, if not that, we'll go ahead and move forward to our appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. Do we have any appointments this evening to boards, commissions, or committees? I have two that are mayoral appointments as far as reappointments to the Texarkana Center Board. They are Kevin Avery and Ben King. These terms will be effective beginning on June the 1st, 2024, as far as a reappointment to the Texarkana Center Board. That's Kevin Avery and Ben King. Are there any others this evening? All right, is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Hart. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. All right, the appointments have been made, or reappointments. I want to thank Mr. Avery and Mr. King for their service, continued service. At this time, we'll move along to items for consideration. We do have 4 items on the consent agenda. Item 1 is to consider approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the City Council held on March the 1st, 2024 at 6 p.m. Item 2 is resolution number 2024-039, approving the budget calendar for fiscal year 2025. Item 3, resolution number 2024-040, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with Contact Contractors Incorporated of Texarkana, Texas for an amount not to exceed $80,852.20 for the bus stop shelter project with Community Development Block Grant CDBG funds. Item 4 is resolution number 2024-041, authorizing the city manager to execute an advance funding agreement, AFA, with the Texas Department of Transportation for a Transportation Alternative Set-Aside, SA program for the Leopard Drive Shared Use Path and Pedestrian Improvement Project. Unless a council member would like to pull one or more items for further discussion, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as it has been presented. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Matlock. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The consent agenda has been approved. We do have one action item this evening. It is item number 5, resolution number 2024-038, approving a bid from Contact Contractors Incorporated of Texarkana, Texas to replace windows on the exterior north wall of City Hall in an amount not to exceed $88,508.60 with budgeted funds from the General Fund, Fund 101. And Mr. Keith Beeson is going to provide additional information to the council relating to this action item. Good evening, Mr. Beeson.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. This is a project that, as you know, the City Hall is 100 years old this year. So we are looking to replace the windows on the north end of City Hall this year. Contact Contractors is a tips buy-board vendor, and they had a winning bid, and we were hoping to move forward on this project and get those needed replacements taken care of.
Okay, all right. Any questions for Mr. Beeson about the council? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Any discussion or questions by the council? If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Page and a second by Councilmember Davis. This item pertains to a resolution, so there's not a caption. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The resolution passes unanimously. Moving along to first briefings, we do have 5 first briefings this evening. I will let the council know that our public hearings will be held on these items on April the 22nd, as well as council vote. Items number 4 and number 5 are tied together, so when we get to those, I will read both of those items, and then Michelle will brief those as they are grouped together. So Michelle Daniel will be briefing us this evening on our first briefing items. And item 1 is ordinance number 2024-032, rezoning an approximate .17 acre tract of land being part of Tract 35, W.H. Ector Headright Survey A-695, located at 1319 Richmond Road, from multiple family 1 plan to development general retail to, let me read that back. Located at 1319 Richmond Road, from multiple family 1 plan development general retail to neighborhood service. Sundar Adhikari, owner, and Rita Johnson Williams, agent. Michelle, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, and good evening, Council. So this is a request to rezone a 0.17 acre tract of land located at 1319 Richmond Road for multiple family 1 planned development general retail to neighborhood service. The intention is to expand the current business at 1317 Richmond Road. And as you had read up there, there's 3 different zonings on this one property, and so they want to combine all the zonings into one zoning of neighborhood services. The future land use map has designated this property as neighborhood residential. The adjacent zoning is office to the north, multiple family 1 to the west, neighborhood services to the south, and single family 2 to the east. The adjacent land use is an office to the north, apartments to the west, businesses to the south, and residents to the east. Staff and Planning and Zoning recommend for approval of this request, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Michelle, remind me, what's the existing business there?
It's that Christie Mini Mart and Nails.
Okay. I
That's
think
there.
years ago it was a daycare center, I think, at one time, and so that now it's, transitioned into that.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
They've been there for quite some time. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any questions from the council on this item? Okay, all right, Michelle. Item 2 is ordinance number 2024-033, granting a specific use permit to allow the location of a daycare on the north half of lots 9 through 12 and part of the alley, block 55, Grandview, located at 1616 Iowa Street. Callie Donaldson, owner, and Stephanie Thompson, agent. Michelle?
Good evening again. And so as you said, this is a request for a specific use permit to allow a daycare or preschool at 1616 Iowa Street. The property is zoned single family 3 and was previously a daycare. This daycare was started around 1979, and the building has been empty for a few years now. At the time, it was a non-conforming use. The future land use map has designated this property as neighborhood residential, and the adjacent zoning is single-family 3 to the north, west, and south, and single-family 2 to the east. The adjacent land usage is residential to the north, west, south, and east. A specific use permit is required to allow a daycare in this zoning district. Staff and Planning and Zoning do recommend for approval of this request, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Michelle on this item? Okay, if not, move along to item number 3, ordinance number 2024-034, rezoning an approximate 20.70 acre tract of land being part of tracts 9 through 12, 13, 17, 18, and 19. R.E. Survey Headright Survey A-523, located at 2300 Buchanan Road, from single family 1 to planned development. Commercial, Jeff Wright, LEISD owner, Robert Sanderson, agent. Michelle?
Good evening again. So this is a request to rezone a 20.7 acre tract of land at 2300 Buchanan Road from single family 1 to planned development commercial. The intention is multiple uses. The future land use map has designated this property as suburban residential, and the adjacent zoning is single family 1 to the north, west, and south, and industrial 2 to the east. The adjacent land use is a city park to the north, residents to the west and south, and a railroad yard to the east. Staff does recommend for approval of this request along with Planning and Zoning, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Michelle on this item? Okay, once again, items 4 and 5 are grouped together, so I will go ahead and read both of them at the same time. Ordinance number 2024-035, rezoning an approximate 4 acre tract of land being tract 64, J.A. Talbot Headright Survey A-564, located at 5613 Richmond Road, from single family 1 to planned development general retail. Josh Morris, Morris Family LP owners, and Jason Bowling Guggenheim, I think I got that right, Development Services LLC agent. Item number 5 is ordinance number 2024-036, amending PD-24-1 GR for general retail for site plan approval on an approximate 4-acre tract of land being tract 64 J.A. Talbot Headright Survey, A-564, located at 5613 Richmond Road. Josh Morris, Morris Family LP owner, and Jason Bowling, Guggenheim Development Services LLC agent. Michelle?
So this is a request to rezone and for site plan approval on a 4-acre tract of land located at 5613 Richmond Road. The rezoning is from Single Family 1 to Planned Development General Retail. The intended use is a Jiffy Lube. The future land use map has designated this property as neighborhood retail. The adjacent zoning is Single Family 1 to the north, office to the west, Planned Development General Retail to the south, and General Retail to the east. The adjacent land use is vacant land north and west, a car wash to the south, and mixed uses to the east. The site plan consists of the construction of a 3,052 square foot building. The access driveway will be off Richmond Road, a 6-foot by 8-foot monument style sign with no electronic messaging, and they must meet the ordinance regarding sidewalks along Richmond Road. All other applicable city ordinances must be followed and met. Staff and Planning and Zoning do recommend for approval of these requests, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Michelle on these two items? Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. At this time, we'll move along to our public hearings. We do have 4 public hearings scheduled for this evening. Item 1 is ordinance number 2024-021, amending the zoning code, chapter 140, by adding section 140 through 182, telecommunications tower and stealth communications tower, adding corresponding definitions to section 140 through 1-179, and corresponding uses to utility and service uses in section 140-81, and adding compliance provisions to section 140-108, plan development. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If there's anyone who would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Page. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning code, Chapter 140 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Texarkana, Texas, by adding Section 140-182, telecommunications tower and stealth telecommunications tower, adding corresponding definitions to Section 140-179, and corresponding uses to utility and service uses in Section 140-81, adding compliance provisions to Section 140-108, plan development, containing severability and superseding clauses, containing legislative findings, providing for publication and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item 2 is ordinance number 2024-028, amending the zoning code, Chapter 140, Article 5, Special District Regulations, Section 140-111, UPDD, which stands for University Plan Development District, by amending subsections 140-111E and 140-111H to provide for wayfinding guides applicable for educational institutions. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open for this item. If there's anyone who would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
Mayor, if I may, I'll be abstaining.
Davis?
I'll be abstaining from this vote.
Okay. Noted that Mr. Davis will be abstaining from voting on this particular ordinance. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Page. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Hart. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning code, Chapter 140, Article 5, Special District Regulations, Section 140-111, UPDD, University Plan Development District of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Texarkana, Texas, by amending subsections 140 to 111E and 140 to 111H to provide for wayfinding guides applicable to educational institutions, containing severability and superseding clauses, containing legislative findings, providing for publication, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. No or abstain?
Abstain.
Mr. Lewis, does this require a roll call? No, it does not. Okay. The motion passes by a vote of 5 to 1 and then 5 to 1 and 1 abstention. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 5 to 0 and 1 abstention. Gotcha. Okay. Item number 3 is ordinance number 2024-029, authorizing assignment pay for a firefighter to be assigned to specialized duties of building maintenance and repair and setting conditions and rate of pay. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward and state your name for the record. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Metter. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
Ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, authorizing assignment pay for firefighters assigned to specialized duties of building maintenance and repair, setting conditions and rate of pay for said duties, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, containing legislative findings, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion carries. The ordinance passes. Item number 4 is ordinance number 2024-30, authorizing assignment pay for a firefighter assigned to the specialized duties of Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator and setting conditions and rate of pay. If anyone would like to address the council on this item, please come forward. Not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Metter. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, authorizing assignment pay for firefighters assigned to specialized duties of Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator, setting conditions and rate of pay for said duties, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, containing legislative findings, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. This concludes our public hearings portion of the agenda. We'll now move along to the city manager's report. Good evening, Dr. Orr.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a few updates to pass along to you tonight. First off, we met last week with the new U.S. Corps of Engineers Fort Worth District Commander. He was here at Red River Army Depot and River Bend offices, and so we had a chance to update him on the projects at the lake revolving the ultimate rule curve and then the water intake project. And with those two updates, we were able to sign a MOA, a Memorandum of Agreement, for the environmental work to be done on the intake structure, and also we signed a funding request for the cultural study. Both of these two developments we've been working on for several years now, and so we look forward to continuing those progress and getting that work underway soon. Speaking of the progress, as mentioned above, we'll have Riverbend Water Resources District will host 2 meetings this week. These are public meetings about the new intake structure. The first will take place here tomorrow night, Tuesday, March 26th, at Texarkana, Texas City Hall here in the council chambers from 6 to 7 p.m. The second meeting will take place at Atlanta City Hall in Atlanta, Texas on March 27th, again from 6 to 7 p.m. And the public is invited to come out to learn more about this proposed project, which will include dredging, the new water intake structure, new raw water transmission main, raw water pump station, and water treatment plant. And I've got information as well. You can visit Pape Dobson's website as well as Riverbend's website for more information on that project. And finally, just a couple of save the dates. We have Texas Municipal League Region 15 meeting in New Boston coming up April 23rd, and that's from 5:30 to 8 p.m. And then also a save the date for a joint city airport meeting that will take place Wednesday, April 24th at 3 p.m. at the Artex Council of Governments building on Elizabeth Street. And if y'all recall, last year we hosted a similar meeting with the airport along with Texarkana, Arkansas to go over their budget, capital improvement plans, and then an update on the new terminal as well. And then one final update, at your desk I have information on an executive summary for Make My Move. We had a chance, Councilmember Jay Davis and I and a group met with them today as part of an Artex Ready initiative, and so we'll be hopefully signing an agreement here soon with them. Make My Move is a remote work program that was budgeted in our current budget, and so just information to pass along for informational purposes. That's all.
Okay, all right, thank you, Dr. Orr. At this time, move along to administrative comments. Any comments from the council to the staff this evening? And any final comments from the staff to the council this evening?
No further comments.
Okay, very good, all right. Unless there's further business brought before the council, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So, second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Page and a second by Councilmember Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We are adjourned. Thank you all very much for being here this evening, and we certainly hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening.